I know we've covered this at length and we've got some great news, a wonderful update on Ozzy Osbourne, who is doing very well now. You can rest assured he has a new album coming out early next year, his first in 9 years. And yes, he has rescheduled those performances that had to be postponed. He is getting back up on stage, and we couldn't be happier about that. Those dates will take place later in 2020 as he understandably continues to heal from those injuries sustained from a fall in his home. But anyways, interestingly enough, Sharon Osbourne gave a new interview to The Sun where she talks about where the hospital staff at one of the first places she took Ozzy immediately after his fall. Interestingly enough, she makes it out to seem like they couldn't have given a shit less about treating Ozzy after this fall. She says it was insane. They got the usual drunks in there overnight. And she tells a story where basically, allegedly, these people just couldn't have cared less about Ozzy. And she had to take him to another hospital, actually, to get the treatment that he needed. That is insane. Can you imagine Ozzy Osbourne coming into a hospital and people just being like, oh, get out of here, you know? Wild. Maybe they didn't know who he was, and I'm not insinuating that anybody deserves preferential treatment over the next person. Believe me, I've spent my fair share of time in a hospital. I know how it goes, but my gosh, this is what she had to say. She said, it was so quick and he was so sleepy that he didn't instinctively put his hands out to break the fall. So when he hit his head again on the corner of the bed, which was a metal frame, I saw it happen and I couldn't get to him in time. And then she talks about the first hospital she went to. She said that the hospital said he was badly bruised and they sent us home. I was thinking, this is fucking insane. He couldn't move his arms and he was in agony. By that time, it was 3 a.m. and they've got all the usual drunks in there, the car accidents, people everywhere. It was dreadful and they couldn't give a damn. And so she said they took him to another hospital where they did an MRI and it showed those metal bolts from the 2003 ATV accident had been dislodged, and so his spinal cord was also compressed. She said they fixed the collarbone straight away, but his spinal cord was so inflamed they had to wait a week to do an operation. He was in surgery for 5 hours, and afterwards they told him it would take him a year to recover. It's terrifying when you see someone you love so incapacitated. They can't do a thing. They're so engulfed with fear that you can't think clearly. So we didn't do any research or ask the right questions. Now, certain doctors say, well, maybe he shouldn't have had this operation, and oh, it's a nightmare. Every doctor seems to have a different opinion. And again, Ozzy has released that new single, Under the Graveyard, and is scheduled to release this upcoming album, Ordinary Man, which will come out early next year. And again, you can check that out and save it wherever digital music, and I'm sure on his website they've got physical copies that will be available as well. So we are so happy that Ozzy is on the mend and he's getting better. And thankfully, the right doctors were able to properly diagnose him and get him the care that he needed. We're just so thankful for that. And it's great news to hear that he's on the up and up. Anyways, that is all for now. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. You can also check us out in podcast form pretty much wherever podcasts are available. Anyways, that's all for now. Thanks so much for joining us here today at Rockfeed, and we'll see you all very soon.